Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 8 p.m. Eastern, right here. If you're watching this on YouTube, X, and Rumble, thank you for joining us. We really do appreciate that. We're probably going to be adding one more site coming soon in 2026. We're trying to decide who shall be. But, there's a lot going on. A lot. Give me a second here. Just, there we go. Trying to find that. There we go. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, just hit that subscribe button. It's really, really important to all of us there. It's very, very important. The way, YouTube has been acting lately. But again, welcome high atop my mountain fortress above what will be the next city of Staten Island. That's right. We are pushing to succeed from New York City and become our city of our own. Nothing against the other boroughs, but it's about time we go on our own. We're not treated right. Yes, get that little music out of there for a little bit. I'll tell you, it is a weird week. We're still shoveling just a little bit, cracking a little bit of ice. We had some snow yesterday. Nice little, not dusting, but just a couple of inches. Here in NYC, and it was really nice. It's nice to see that. Where I'm at, because I'm about, like I said, I'm high up on top of the mountain. The trees across from me had a nice amount of snow on them. It was beautiful. It was beautiful on that. And it was a nice air, but it froze a little bit, this morning. So it got really cold and icy. So a lot of the stuff that went watery turned into ice. And that's what happens when it gets really, really cold onto there. Because I know it's getting cold all over the place. I heard today Dollywood closed early today, supposedly a couple hours early, because it's too darn cold. And I don't blame them, for that. It's a lot of situations on there. Today we got a lot to talk about. We're going to get into some things, and I'll tell you, it is a very unusual weekend coming into this, because basically not only that top story that's been floating around right now at the moment, which we're going to tackle a little bit, and we're going to be, about as tasteful as it goes, because I know there's a lot of those out there that would just, would take to the position, because they did it to this side of the aisle, we should do it to them. I said, no, death is death when it comes to it, whether I agree with their politics or not, especially the way they died. And it becomes up to a mental health issue. It comes to a real mental health issue. But before we get into that, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for some, hopefully, some guests to come by. Also, I don't know if you guys caught Landman this weekend. Landman supposedly pissed off The View with one line to the point. The characters were having. Sam Elliott threw it real good on there. He said, "What's The View?" His son goes, "What? Why don't you go watch The View?" And he explains to him, and says, "There's a bunch of rich billionaires complaining about other billionaires and complaining about Donald Trump, and bitching about Donald Trump." That was really good, and it did actually piss them off. Get to the point. Hey, listen, it's a TV show. To the point. Don't get mad at the writers. Don't get mad at the actors. It's part of a show. If someone doesn't like your show, big deal. Big deal to that point. And then, of course, we had the season finale of It. Welcome to to daily dairy, excuse me, and we had a major surprise on that. So basically, time travel. Yes, time travel. Well, actually, Stephen King has done time travel before, so it's not uncommon. He had that. What was it? 11/23/63 or something like that. About the Kennedy assassination. Um, that he had that book on that where there's like it goes into someone goes into I think a restaurant and there's like a doorway and he travels back in time, which is not surprisingly, but the uh ending of this season, it's amazing. The effects were very good. It was a bit gruesome to the point, and we learned a lot more of the story. Stephen King universe. If you haven't caught the It TV series, take a moment. It's already over. You can probably get all eight. It's only 8 episodes. Understand, for those of you who are not just into that gruesome gore fest stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend it too much. But the story arc is very good. It branches out to several of his other series. Basically, you have what is it? Shawshank Redemption, The Shining, and several others. To the point, and they talk about what is it for season uh, two. Looks like we're going back to 1934 to that shootout gangster massacre. So we're going back in time. So because basically it looks like, and this is how some people are saying it, that the It TV series takes place after It Part Two, because of what was said in the episode itself, that Pennywise comes into there and he just starts to talk about the future. And oh, look at Outpost Nerd has just arrived. Hey,
What's up? What's up?
what's happening? What's happening?
Been a crazy weekend, that's for sure, hasn't it?
Can you believe I'm just about to get into it? This was, oh my God. I mean, I let's start. Let's start now because to the point. Let me bring up my list here. Okay, this started last week. First, you had Grammy nominated Jubilant Sykes murdered by his own son. If you're familiar with him, he's an opera singer, great opera singer. Onto there. Hold on a second. Let me go on that. And then you had oh God, I lost it now. Folks, technical on there. You had one of the stars, Peter Green from The Mask and Unusual Suspects, died mysteriously. Here in New York, and they still haven't explained his death as of yet. Just like it's gone all signal silent here in New York on that. Then, of course, Sunday to Monday, we had the Rob Reiner situation hit onto there. That basically, and that's still ongoing, and we'll get to back to that in a minute. And then we had, and this is today, NCIS Los Angeles actress Rachel Capani has died unexpectedly. Then you had Carl Carlton, the singer, R&B singer, also passing away. And then General Hospital's actor Anthony Geary, Luke, also passing away, all at one time. And
Who was he in it?
Anthony Geary was Luke and Laura in General Hospital.
I know. The NCIS. I don't remember her in the NCIS.
NCIS Los Angeles.
I know. Yeah, I watched it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What was she in NCIS LA?
I never watched the show. Hey, PB.
Uh,
Yeah, I never watched the show. She was supposedly in some other things.
McLeod's daughter. She wasn't in much.
McLeod's Daughters is a series on there, and a couple other series.
She was in one episode, and I'm betting it was Callan's. She was Callan's older sister. She was Chris O'Donnell's character's older sister. So she was was only in one episode.
Oh,
That sucks.
yeah.
My folks, we news goes off, or if NCIS is on, they're watching it. My dad was in the Navy, and he's watching an episode. We're watching an episode of NCIS, and there's a shot in the Navy yard, an exterior shot of a ship, and you can see the numbers on the ship. And he stops it, pauses it, rewinds, and gets up and looks at it. It's the ship he served on back in '79
Mm.
when he was a gunner's mate.
Hmm.
So the only time he ever in his 4 years of in the Navy, he only went on a ship one time. He spent most of the time stateside, working bases up and down the East Coast.
Mm.
So,
So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, we might get a little, to a point where you might not take this, and we're going to describe one or two things that the media has been talking about this Rob Reiner's death. So just be aware, warning, we might be talking some things that just gets a little itchy on there. But basically, that was the shock. It was I was like I was talking with some of the guys I sent, and then suddenly the Rob Reiner thing comes across, and I send it. Jason sends it to me, Sci-Fi for me, and then it comes back. Then it comes back around, and I hear it's Rob Reiner, and I send it back to him. And I'm like, it's Rob Reiner. It's like Rob Reiner is dead with his wife. I said, oh my god. And then you hear that their throats were slit.
okay, that is speculation.
It is. I know. It is speculative. That's what I'm saying.
I've heard that one place, and I'm like, I've been listening to this all day. That I've heard it one place. It's just said it's a gruesome stabbing.
Yeah, People Magazine is saying that.
They're the only place. Yeah. What it was is, from what I understand, him and his son had a very tumultuous relationship.
It was, yeah. It's supposedly this started at a Conan O'Brien party.
This had actually been going on for years, but I think the issue that led up to all this, it was supposedly there was a fight at Conan's party, and it spilt over at home. Probably, he had been in and out of rehab for years, homeless, and I think of that like your dad's you're part of one of the biggest Hollywood families in history, and you're homeless.
It's not surprising. It's not surprising in the Hollywood industry.
Well, my thing is, okay, I understand that there's sometimes my family has dealt with addiction. We're still dealing with it, and there's it's like okay, I understand sometimes it comes to a point you have to cut ties, but I just don't.
You know what it is, and I said this on Sci-Fi for me today, on the chat. Here's our problem: we have a mental health issue in this country right now, and throughout the world. We don't have the facilities, the expertise anymore, the ways to handle it like it used to be. Unfortunately, Ronald Reagan killed it years ago.
That's one of the things I disagree with. I hate that he did the most. He shut down the asylum.
They shut down the asylums, which is, I understand where he was coming from. I understand that. I was, that was back when I was a kid. I understand that situation. But, and I remember this when I was in school, and they said, you know what the ramifications is of shutting that down? You're letting people out. Even though here in New York, we do still have mental health hospitals here. Is Bellevue Hospital is one of them.
There's a thing. Okay, there's a thing. There's state hospitals. I had a girlfriend who, before I met her, she had tried to end things, and she spent a week in the state hospital. That is different than a mental asylum. Right. Reagan's view was there was extreme abuse in the asylum systems for decades.
Well, it's the same with nursing homes. It's whether it was mental asylums, nursing homes, it didn't matter. It was the same abuse. Even you could say in prisons as well. Rikers Island out here, we have our issues with that back and forth with Rikers Island. And
in my town, our jail has had a couple of mysterious deaths. but they've always been able to sweep it under the rug. It's part of that good old boy system we had that's everywhere.
Well, that's what it used to
And
be on Rikers
it's
Island. They used to sweep it, but it got to a point where how many of the bodies have they buried? To that point. Here, so they
we
look.
had a I don't know which it was, like a young boys school, like one of those schools, like it's jail basically, but they call it a school. Back in we It was around for like 50, 60 years. It's been closed for just as long. Um, Let me look it up.
Yeah, while you're doing that, let me just mention also, ladies and gentlemen, from the last that I've gotten on the updates, supposedly at first they Nick is his son Nick Reiner is under arrest for this, was being held on $4 million bail. Supposedly the bail has been revoked at this point. Supposedly, now everything here is
It has.
speculation.
It has.
It's changing
I just.
every
I
hour.
just.
What was that?
I just saw they've revoked his
They
bail.
did 100% revoke. Yeah, because it was like
Yeah.
about 2 hours ago, we were getting notifications that during Sci-Fi for Me that they were revoking the bail. We just couldn't confirm it as of yet. All we was getting that a couple of outlets were saying it. So basically, because this story changes like every hour or two.
Mm,
Things when you confirm one half of it, and then it's unconfirmed to the point, and then it just continues to change.
it's not changing. It's just people spewing stuff before they know about it, trying to get clicks.
Oh, that's
I'm
true
what
too.
what I'm saying. The things I'm talking about, I'm hearing from police reports and from like the the news. What do you call them
Yeah, let's.
when the no when the news people go out and listen to the officials
Oh, you're talking about the press conference.
press conference. This is where I'm getting that from. They've revoked his bail. They did a no warrant arrest, which means they suspect him. They strongly believe they have it. But from what I understand, from what I heard, in California, you have, as a prosecutor, 48 hours to come up with an indictment. Starting
Okay, that's what I didn't
starting
understand.
this
I didn't
morning.
understand.
So they had an extra day with it happening on a Saturday. But they have 48 hours from start to finish.
Because what I didn't understand was that basically, Jason we were talking about it, and that there was like, this they're rushing a freaking already an indictment. They haven't even collected all the info yet. All the forensics and everything like that's still being collected at this point.
Well, the thing they would only do this if they were like 75% sure. And now
Yeah, but
they're just gathering the evidence and trying to see if they're correct or
right.
not.
But see, there's a problem when you rush that situation and you haven't dotted your I's and crossed all your T's. That tends to be either case adjourned, or basically, that's a question later on to be basically in a what do they call it, after a judgment, I can't even think of
Double
this
jeopardy.
situation. Not double jeopardy. That appealed. Thank you. Appealed. That basically it could lead to appeal, or where they could win the situation because of the way it was rushed. Because like here in New York, some cases are rushed to judgment, and they
I'm
end up,
sorry. Okay, I
the person ends up going to
the
jail, and so
the
like that
fucking
was
New
all
York.
wrong.
Hold on. Q2. The fucking New York system could say, "Oh, God exists," and I would not believe a fucking thing they
Oh, I
say.
know that.
Your system in New York is
Oh
shit.
yeah, I believe. Yeah,
You
I agree with you on that.
How many they just had? Was it? I don't know if it was in New York. So I'm not gonna. They had the guy Daniel Penny,
Yeah,
of
that's
course.
yeah, Daniel Penny in the New York
They
City
had
subway.
the guy who set the woman on fire.
Oh, we had the one, the bodega store guy, and this was back
Yeah,
up. This is back a bit. This is about, is it 2 years ago? A year ago? Uh, Guy was in the shop. Woman comes in,
yeah.
puts a bag of chips down, puts her card up, for a bag of chips. Put the card up, and it basically gets declined for $1 bag of
Yeah.
chips. Figure that one. And so basically, the guy said, "No, nope, sorry, can't buy it." And he said, "Oh, you gotta let it go." She gets pissed off and says, "Well, I'm gonna bring my man back." So she goes out, brings her guy back. The guy argues with the shopkeeper. He ends up jumping the counter, and they end up fighting. The shopkeeper pulls a knife and basically kills him. Right?
Yeah.
They arrest the shop
Yeah,
owner.
I remember Trump going and visiting that shopkeeper during the election last year.
Yeah, and basically, in fact, actually, the lawsuit's still going. They haven't even finished the lawsuit on this because he came back and sued back after his case was dismissed.
I mean, you have a fucking DA who's housing a porn star in one of her houses that she owns and claims.
Which DA, Bragg?
No, no, I'm getting Letitia James.
Oh, Letitia James. She needs to go.
So does Bragg.
That's another one. Yeah, she needs to go. DA Bragg, District Attorney Bragg.
Yeah, they all.
He's the one that's been he's Manhattan's district attorney. He's been the big thorn in New York side when it comes to he's the one that's letting everybody out on no bail, no bond,
unless you're a white American. Sorry, I'm eating as we're talking.
Unless you're Daniel Penny, you go to jail, or the bodega guy, to the situation on there. I mean, we just recently get this in the last, and this was this weekend, and about the weekend prior, Macy's Herald Square. You had a guy shopping up in the furniture department. As he was shopping, a woman walked up to him with some sort of heavy object and banged his head for no reason whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
It was like he was like a 7-year-old man. She hits in the head. She runs off. They're still looking for her. This past weekend, in the 7th floor bathroom, a woman walks into the bathroom, stabs another woman who happened to be was it Florida PD? She happened to be a police officer. Her and her husband were police officers, but not from New York, from another state. They were here on vacation. They ended up restraining her, holding her down. And then what we find out is that this woman walked into Macy's, bought a knife to use it to stab on someone who recently was in a mental hospital for a year, and they released her, and immediately she went to Macy's to stab somebody.
There's a story, I think it was in New York. There was a guy who was a serial puncher. They called him like the serial puncher.
Yes.
He'd go around, like there's a video of him just walking along, and this woman, and he just takes his elbow and just bam, right in her face. Mm-hmm. He'd had like 20 previous arrests. And they're still looking for him.
Yeah. This is the situation. And like I said, this is mental health issues. When you see the Rob Reiner situation and his son was going through a lot of it. I mean, the picture I'm showing up here is not even the current picture. The dude looks like something out of a freaking, one of these low budget action flicks where he's the bad guy. That's the way he looks like. He's shaved head and everything. And what he was going through, drugs and stuff like that. And I mean, if Rob gave up on his own son, I mean, that's a shame. I mean, not to shit on it and shit on his grave. It's just that you see a lot of people give up on people these days, and we need more to this. We need more action in this country when it comes to people with mental illness.
I'm personally going through this kind of thing, not to this extent. Jesus Christ. Didn't want me to get that last Snickers out of the bag.
That's always don't go crazy over the Snickers.
But I'm 38 fucking years old and was recently diagnosed with autism 1. It turns out, and this as we have gotten to understand autism, understand mental illness, turns out a lot of kids in my generation who were diagnosed ADD in the 90s were actually autistic.
Mm-hmm.
And I recently found out I'm autistic, which explains so many of my issues. But to get that psych eval was pulling teeth, and that was in August. I have not had anyone able to sit down with me and explain what it means, what's going to be done moving forward. It's like being thrown into the deep end. People, they do not care. I have been working with a government agency called Vocational Rehabilitation to help me find a job.
Mm-hmm.
I have not heard from them in 2 months, and every time I call to ask them for help, they get told, "Oh, we're busy. We have other patients."
Yeah,
I don't give a flying fuck.
always the situation when it comes to anything. When it comes to people need the homeless, the mental health issues. It's they're brushed aside. You know what happens to the veterans. This is the same thing that happens
Mhm,
to our own veterans in this country. They get tossed aside, and they're supposed to be agencies in this country to help them with these issues, PTSD, and all the issues that they go through coming back from war.
mhm.
And this. Oh,
The
excuse me.
thing is, the thing is, these people do not care. They're still getting paid. I need help.
Mhm.
I have been kicking and screaming and bitching and going after people who said they could help.
You're in the South, right? You're down in Florida way, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, there are a lot of good agencies in Florida. I know that for a fact because of when I was there in the 90s.
Not anymore.
Mm, things change.
A
I know.
lot of them, because we've had a majority Democrat for about 20 years. It's been half and half. I should say, yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, but I've told them. I said, "You're still getting paid. You're right now." I told this lady, "You're sitting there getting paid. I'm not. I'm losing money because you're taking your sweet ass time." Well, I have a 36 some odd other clients. Okay, that's fine. I understand that. All I need from you is a referral to this job placement company that could help me, and they won't do it.
Hmm. I was just
They have
reapplying for Medicaid today. And I was talking to them last week, because you have to go through the marketplace here in New York. And last week they said, "Oh, call back on the 15th, and they'll put it through." And I speak to the girl today. She's a real nice girl. She's on no, they could have handled you last week. I don't know why they didn't handle you. I still got a call back on Monday. I mean, not Monday, on January, to activate the new system. In my new plan.
yeah.
uh, to that point. But the thing about it is like, you get brushed aside on the system. And and I hear the stories of Snap on there. For a little time period, I was on Snap. And this was
I've been on Snap more than I care to admit.
yeah. I was during COVID, and they gave us money, they gave us a couple of $100 to handle it, me and my wife. Suddenly, when the immigration crisis started to happen, it started to go down. And I kept asking. I said, "Well, it's because of what you make." So, what do you mean what I make? I'm making the same. We're making, our household was making the same thing we did the last year and the year before that and the year before that. I said, "Well, we can't identify, where you live." I said, "What do you mean you can't identify where I live? I live with my wife's family, in their family, because we were living in my wife's family home.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, to the point. I mean, no longer. I mean, we ended up when my wife's aunt passed away. She left us a little sum to go out, to sell the property and to basically buy this place. So now we have our own place. So there's no excuse for that. And I'll tell you this, by the time I got rid of Snap, do you know how much they were giving me?
Probably less than $200.
$25 for two people.
That happened to me. I started working at a part time at a at a school, and they took me down to about $20. It was
And
ridiculous.
then
They
meanwhile,
mhm.
and you see this, and I'll tell you this, you can't say, they say, well, it's all those on the right that are talking about this. There's no examples of it. I can tell you this: go to any supermarket in any area where there are a lot of illegal immigrants. Right over here, it's near Port Richmond, and basically go into that supermarket, stand in there all day, watch the day SNAP is released, watch the carts come through there and how much is in those carts and how much they're
Mhm.
spending. 200, 300, $500. Easy.
Oh yeah.
Just on the cart. And the thing is, they're taking all junk food.
See, okay, this has been an issue between me and my mom for a while. I spend, I go get my food. I don't. I'll buy like meats, um, cheese. I get pizzas because I like pizzas. I get pizzas and all that accoutrements, extra pepperoni and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
I buy fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what I do is I don't buy store. I don't buy name brand. I will try the name brand of something before I buy the store brand. I get told you're wasting your food stamps. I'm like, I'm buying food.
Mm-hmm.
How is wasting? How am I wasting my food stamps when I'm buying food?
Mm-hmm.
So one day she and I are arguing. I mean, it's a scream fest. I go to the pantry, I grab a bottle of water and a loaf of bread, throw them at her feet. I said, "That is what you fucking want me to eat, right there." And my mom has this habit of when you corner her in an argument, she'll deflect it and try to point out something you're like. If I have a little stain on my shirt, she's like, "Oh, you're filthy." I'm like, "Okay, that's you trying to take the power back, power and control back. I'm not gonna let you anymore." But it's not that it's not like I'm going and buying filet mignons or this crap kind of stuff. I buy sodas, I buy teas because I don't really need to buy water because I can get water out of the tap. This thing about people are just buying junk food with them. It's partially, but what else are they buying?
No, it's
Are they
mostly it's
still?
mostly all like the frozen. You know what it is? We as a society have gotten lazy, and it's not only the U.S. It's all over the world. We've gotten lazy to the situation when it comes to family meals and so. We don't have the Sunday nuclear family meal anymore. It's a quick meal that's it. It's done, did and done. It's like you just put it in the microwave. That's it. Toss it on a plate. Everybody come to eat. That's about it. And you look at what they're making as far as that, or what they're getting from the frozen food section on there, and hold on a second. Okay, there we go. The frozen fruit section, anything that just like easy cook, rice roni or any other, and it's like you're paying for that, but you can get like a bag of rice cheap. You can get, a lot of the stuff cheap. I understand like some of the meats are a little expensive. Buy some chicken for a while. You know, chicken is
Oh,
about the
chicken
cheapest.
is expensive.
Now chicken is
No,
expensive, but
no.
back a bit, chicken was cheap. Get look at the meat prices. You know, if you don't like the meat prices in that particular supermarket, take a trip to another one because you will find a supermarket that will be well priced. In my area, okay, I have Western Beef, I have Key Food, I have Met Supermarkets on there. We got Stop and Shop, ShopRite, and then if you want to go the distance, Aldi or Costco. Of those ones, who are the cheapest? Believe it or not, Met Supermarket.
Never heard of them.
Met is in this territory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we have Publix, Winn-Dixie,
Oh,
we have
I miss I
Aldi's,
miss Publix and Winn Dixie.
but the thing when the one, my place is to go to Publix. It's a little expensive, but it's right near my house, and I live out in the country. And we have one I don't know if you've ever heard of called the Piggly Wiggly.
Yes, I've heard of the Piggly Wiggly. What's the other one? I'm trying to remember the other one. It's part of a chain. They have it up here, but under a different name. I'm trying to remember the name. Forgot that one. But let me ask you a question. Publix, do they still do the barbecue packs in the meat?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, because from when I was down there in the 90s, here's the one thing about it, as far as eating. They have these packs, which basically has a good amount of meat. Sometimes it's a mix. Sometimes it's like a little chicken and beef, or it's like a good amount of pork chops, or a good amount of
No, they don't do that
steaks.
anymore.
And basically it's always like the family pack, and it's always most of the time is during the summertime periods. And I used to pick those up, and me being a single guy, they were big enough. Just wrap them up, put it in the freezer, and that's it. I have, take a chop out, and that's it. Throw a little rice on it, throw some beans. That's it. They make it sound so hard to cook. My wife, I tell you, I love my wife very much. She's such a great cook. She can take next to nothing. She can take leftovers and turn it into a new meal, a completely different meal, very easily. It's not that hard to cook. This is why I say they need to put back what do they call it? Not social economics, home ec. They need to put home ec back in the schools, because that's the one thing that's missing from the schools these days is home ec and shop. We're not teaching our kids to really truly live in life.
We're not. We're teaching them to test. We're not teaching them to live. That's the biggest issue. I've worked in the school system for the past 3 years. I've seen it. I've seen the complete lack of common sense, the complete lack of skills. And it comes from this stupid idea from the unions. Now, I worked right beside our union rep. She was one of the nicest, greatest person I ever worked with. She and I could not disagree more politically. And we shared a little office. Oh, we'd have some arguments, but then if I said, "Hey, I need your help with this," she's like, "What you need? Come on, let's work this out." Or if she needed me to do something, I'd be like, "Yes, ma'am, sure, let's do this." We didn't let our politics, but the unions, oh God, they're so fucking frustrating and useless when you actually need them.
Oh yeah, no.
Uh,
Oh, believe me, the union I had out here when I used to work retail, they did nothing for me, and they did nothing for my wife. When my wife had her stroke, they weren't even there to help her. It happened in the store where she worked at, and not even flowers. God damn it! Not even flowers. Not even a card from the union.
when my grandfather, I was working at Winn-Dixie when my grandfather died, and I actually got one of those big those ones that you had to put on a stand it said from your family. No, it was when one of my second grandmother died. I was working at Publix.
Mm-hmm.
It says from your Publix family.
Mm-hmm.
So but the unions are a relic of the past that have no use today.
Mm.
All they do is take your money and then push a political agenda.
And not even the politics that you want, not even the politician that you want to vote for. It's the one they want to vote for. And it's the same thing in Hollywood. It's the whole situation. This whole thing with the Netflix buying the WB and all that. They said, "Oh, the writers' union doesn't care for it. The actors' union. Why? You guys went on strike and screwed up the entire industry for what, about a year, and basically still haven't recovered. And then meanwhile, you guys flip out when how a streaming company, but is going to buy a complete, large studio facility with the IPs and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's amazing, and you wondered, the emotions that goes on, and seeing what happened today, this weekend with Rob Reiner and all the other celebrities that that have died, either murdered or died mysteriously. You wondered to the situation. I mean, I'm still looking at what was it the other day? Amanda Bynes. Have you seen how she looked like these days?
It's today.
Have you seen her?
Hold on.
Oh, you haven't seen her today. Oh yeah, go ahead, look.
She looks like she's had a fuck ton of.
Yeah,
Of
exactly. And
I mean,
she was a great actress.
she was one of Schneider's victims.
Yeah, obviously, obviously.
So that if fucking that's the
That's going all
problem
the way
with
back to
Hollywood.
Nickelodeon.
No, that's still a problem today with Nickelodeon. It's been a problem with Hollywood for fucking a century. These fucking perverted pedophiles. Hollywood needs to burn.
Mhm.
Hollywood needs to burn. And the crazy thing is they don't make movies in California anymore.
No, they don't.
It's in Atlanta or London or up in
Canada.
Toronto. Uh, they do so many shows up in Canada. I'll be watching like I used to watch Warehouse 13. It was one of my favorite shows on Sci-Fi.
Hmm.
It was one of the Toronto made shows. I think it's Toronto. But then a few years ago, I'm watching a show called Murdoch Mysteries. It's a Canadian show. And in Murdoch Mysteries, they go to this mansion to interview a suspect. In Warehouse 13, they stayed at a bed and breakfast. It was the same building. It was the same
Oh
house.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, Hollywood, it's not filmmakers anymore running Hollywood. It's um, CEOs and business people running it, making they have no idea what we want, what works. If they knew what it worked, they wouldn't have shit on the recent phase of the Marvel
Yeah,
movies.
exactly. I'm looking.
There's a
I'm looking at Rob Reiner's, movie and show listings. I mean, Spinal Tap, Princess Bride,
He
Stand by
just did a
Me.
sequel.
I
He
know.
just finished a sequel that's
I
not
know. He
even
just
out to
finished the
Spinal
sequel, which
Tap.
I hear some people that they said it's not that great. When Harry Met Sally, Misery, Few Good Men, Wolf of Wall Street, and so goes it. Flip, Bucket
Um,
List.
oh, you're missing the best one ever in that list.
Which one?
The Princess Bride.
I
Come
did say
on.
Princess Bride.
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
That sword fight was utterly amazing.
I'm Emilia
And the
Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. And I love that line.
and Manny Patinkin is a
I still have the
huge liberal
T-shirt. I
asshole,
have the
but
T-shirt that I got. My wife had gotten. It doesn't fit me anymore. She wears it every once in a while, and it has like you know how you have that. You go somewhere and they give you a little sticker that says "Hello, my name is" on
yeah,
there. Yeah, this was the T-shirt was. It had one of the like a like,
I've
on
seen that.
there, and it said, "Hello, my name is Emilia Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die."
Carrie Elwes said that movie has impacted his career so much that when he dies, it's probably going to say on his tombstone, "As you wish."
Hmm.
The coolest thing about that, like the sword fight, is they actually had the sword instructor who worked with on Robin Hood with Errol Flynn as the fight instructor. What's up, Snob?
What's up, Snob?
And a few years later, Carrie Elwes would go on to play Robin Hood in Men in Tights, which is my favorite Mel Brooks movie. And he was able to use the skills he learned on The Princess Bride in his role on that. And I'm not looking forward to Spaceballs 2.
I don't think anybody is, especially after
I
History of the World Part Two.
Yeah. Um, I found out recently. You know, people are always like, oh the trooper who when they're combing the desert, the guy who says we ain't found shit. That's Tuvok from Star Trek Voyager, Tim Russ.
Right.
But the other trooper before him, who says we haven't found anything, sir. The white guy, with the He's having some.
He's had,
Snob's having
I figured that he's
issues.
having
All
trouble.
right, this is why I don't use Restream because it's more headaches than I've ever had on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But that was voice actor in one Rob Paulson in one of his few um, live action roles. Rob Paulson was Yakko Warner in the Animaniacs. He was Pinky in Pinky and the Brain.
Mm-hmm.
He was Carl Weezer in Jimmy Neutron. He was Donatello in 2012's version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's the original Raphael. I'm like, holy crap! That's actually that's one of those voices that you've heard your entire childhood. But
I mean, he's done. Like I said, he's done a lot on there. Let's see if it works now. Hi, Snob.
Check.
Yep, there you go.
sound good.
There you go.
The machine is just
Mm.
wants to reset everything all the time.
So the insanity today, huh? I mean, just in the last 24 hours. Huh, Snob?
What? What
The whole
insanity?
situation with
What
Rob Reiner. The whole thing with Rob
happened?
Reiner.
It's been the weekend.
Oh, right.
You know, it's just it's a shame on there. I mean, and the thing is, like what I was saying with Outpost. I mean, you had another Grammy nominated opera singer also was murdered by his own son as well, and that was a couple of days ago.
Well, I'm glad I only have daughters.
Yeah, you think women can't be vindictive and kill somebody? That's another.
You haven't watched the movie Miss 45 yet, then?
Or Misery,
Which
Misery does love company.
Which is a Rob Reiner movie. But
was it?
I'm sorry.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's one of Rob Reiner's on there. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's just been just in the last couple of hours, so many actors have died. I mean, I couldn't believe Luke from General Hospital. I was like, holy shit. My wife was like, oh no, not Luke.
Luke.
Yeah.
No.
I
don't know.
Oh no, General Hospital for years. One of the best soap operas out there. Still, I think it's still on. I think it's on there. It hasn't ended. But there was two characters on the show, a romance between two characters, and this goes back to when I was in high school. Luke and Laura. And they were always getting into trouble situation. There was like some situation where they got into trouble or something. It always ended up Luke and Laura. And it was big romance for many years on there. Anybody say General Hospital? It was the first thing that came out. Oh, Luke and Laura. And for Anthony Geary, that basically he was Luke. For him to pass away, it's like, you have a lot of people who are fans of that show right now are just crying. It's like say it ain't so, to that point. But
my thing is too, it's been a lot more than just death in the entertainment business. It's just a bloody weekend. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of us just letting it happen over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
When we know the cause, but we're supposed to be nice and coddle. There's such thing as it's called toxic empathy.
Keep going there. I think I'm getting breaking news. Keep going. I'm getting something right now.
And we need to learn that. We need to learn again to say no. And this whole thing, the race card or you're racist. No. I'm sick and tired of that shit.
Okay, I got some breaking news. There is something going on in North Carolina right now. And in fact, I got a link to it. I'm going to switch us over to the live feed. This is Eyewitness News live in North Carolina right now. David, are you there?
Right. Well, police have moved us about a block from where the activity is actually going on. It's in the house about a block away from here. Here's what's going off. Police are in a standoff with a man who's at a Christmas party, and he has refused to leave until he gets some figgy pudding. Now, here's the situation. You recall the holiday classic, "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." That includes the line, "Bring us some figgy pudding." Well, this man went to the party assuming that he would get some figgy pudding. He has not gotten any, and he refuses to leave. So police and SWAT team members are at the house about a block away, and they are not leaving until this man comes out of his house, regardless of the figgy pudding. Now, here's what they have negotiated. Police have told us moments ago that they will bring him figgy pudding, but the problem is, they don't know where to get some. I'm David Shifter in Midtown, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Oh, thank you, David.
Crazy stuff. Crazy
stuff. Figgy, figgy pudding. You froze on you, Outpost?
Yeah. I mean, everyone. I mean, I don't blame the guy. I mean, he expected figgy pudding. I mean, that's reasonable.
What is figgy pudding?
You bring me some figgy pudding. I mean, that's what the song goes.
Thanks
Expect
to
your
David
figgy
Shifter.
pudding.
Yeah, thanks to David Shifter. He's an old friend.
I don't know what figgy pudding is.
Yeah, for that little bit.
But obviously that guy knows and he wants it. So
yeah. Figgy pudding. Oh wow. Oh man, it's a lot going on. A lot more going on to the situation on there. I'm going to switch into gears here. Streaming. Oh man, that's the word you don't want to hear right now. And the prices that are going on with streaming right now. What do you use, Snob? What do you use to watch movies these days?
Nothing.
I thought you used at least the internet library.
We got rid of Netflix because we weren't watching it that much. There wasn't much in the way of quality on there.
You didn't slip into Tubi or Pluto yet?
Well, occasionally I do if there's something I want to watch.
Yeah, because I know they're making some big deals right. In fact, I know Tubi just made a deal with one of the YouTubers, Meat Canyon. I don't know if you ever heard of Meat Canyon.
No.
They have an animation. They have this bizarre looking anime. Looks like something out of Ren and Stimpy, but even more bizarre. And they do all these like bits. Like they had this whole thing is, what's the secret of some of the food in McDonald's, and then the secret of the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Turns out that Willy Wonka is sort of a pedo or something to that nature. It's some bizarre stuff that they do online. It's real good animation on there, but it looks like Tubi has contracted them to do shows on Tubi TV now.
So I'm trying to think of the last TV show that I watched. Well, I did watch some of Tulsa King because I heard about it, but you know what I did? You know what I do? This is cheap. I'm cheap. I just go to the library and I just borrow the stuff, right?
No, a lot of people do that.
The library will get it. My local library will get it, whenever it comes out on DVD, right?
Right.
So usually 6 months, maybe a year, whatever it is. If they put it out on DVD, the library can go and buy it. And, most libraries allow you to, request. You say, hey, this would be I think you should get this book or this DVD or whatever. And they'll look at it and they'll go, yeah, probably a lot of people want to see that. So, yeah, I'll get it. So it's pretty easy to, get away with not.
A couple days ago, we had talked about the sci-fi series Falling Skies that's coming to Blu-ray. It's also coming to streaming. It's headed to Netflix for 2026.
Yeah, so I'm kind of interested in that one. I don't know if it looks good in the clips I've seen, but
it's pretty good.
I don't know. It's hard to say, right? Which is why I want to buy something, but I'm thinking maybe I might get that.
Yeah, this was like what was it? It was TNT and it was Spielberg. combination.
Yeah. So I mean, in my personal view, I mean, can I wait? Yeah, I can wait a couple months and stuff. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
is there anything that I need to see? So if I, want to wait till the DVDs come out, check it out at my local library for free, and then hey, if it's really that good, maybe I'll buy it myself, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's
Always,
kind of ho hum, I'll just,
and also, you want to get it
this
on,
is
what is it, on physical media at that point.
yeah, if it's that good. This is a U.S. prices, eh?
Yeah. These are U.S. prices I got up on
Yeah,
here.
and look, I mean,
And
this
this is
is
from,
this is outrageous.
I mean,
this
yeah.
is outrageous.
I mean, we're looking from about
6
2019 to 20. Yeah, we're looking at that.
Some of them are 5 years. I mean, some of them are more, but I mean,
right.
Netflix. Yeah, I remember when Netflix was $8, and I'm like, oh, that's that's fine.
Right.
And if they were still around $12 like they were a couple years ago, I probably would have kept it. But now you're starting to creep up. You're going for 8, and then it's 9, and it's 10, and it's 12, and then now it's almost 20. Like it'll be 18 for you guys, but I'm sure it's probably 21 or something for Canadians. So
Right.
okay, well this is $8, $21, big difference.
Yeah, because you look at, like, for example, first two here, Disney and Hulu, which are the same company. They are $6.99 originally for Disney, $8 for Hulu, and this is 2019, 2018. Today they're both $11.99 each. Now, as of January, I'm not certain the exact date, they're merging together, and supposedly it's going to be like probably about $15.
Yeah, of course they're going to up it.
And they're going to up it. It's going to be up it onto there just for both of these things together. They'll offer probably some deal for a short time and then just jack the price up.
Yeah.
Now,
no, and I think it's a mistake too, because if Netflix is $8 a month, then maybe I'm not caring, right? Like maybe I'm like,
right.
Oh, we haven't used it in a while. What the heck? I don't care. But when you start pushing it up to $20 a month and more, then I'm going to be like, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're talking about,
yeah. And then
money.
you got then you got Netflix, which is like $7.99, and they're $17.99 today. And I think it's a little higher too, because it depends on the level. If you want HD, if you want no commercials,
they
the
charge
prices
you
drive up.
They charge you for no commercials now. Oh,
yeah.
The whole point of streaming is no commercials.
No commercials. I'll take the commercials. I'm used to Pluto. I'm used to Tubi.
I hate commercials. Oh,
the Tubi has it the best. They don't.
So asinine. Oh, yeah. I can't stand commercials. So asinine.
But they're not too bad on Tubi. Tubi's in and out very quick. The worst is Pluto is one of the worst as far as that. Yeah, they take too long on their commercial breaks, and they just they nail it every. They do too many commercial breaks. Same thing with Disney's. Disney's the same way too. Then you got Prime. Oh, and YouTube is doing the same thing as well. And then you got Prime Video, which was like $9 originally on 2016. Today it's like $15, which I think it's going to go up again also, because it's not only that you're paying for Prime Video, you're paying for Prime itself. So if you're a person that buys from Amazon, it's worth it because it's the free shipping, the special type of shipping. You have access to the books, because they have section where you can read books from their site. They have a couple of things. So some of this stuff, kind of works, but the price keeps going up.
Yeah.
Then you got HBO Max, which is one of the most expensive out there now. Now they do have a different level on there, which is a commercial. The commercial one is much cheaper. $14.99 originally. Now it's $19. It's much more than Netflix.
That's basically the same as Netflix.
Yeah, it's basically the same as Netflix, but
50 cents more.
Yeah, and then the things with HBO Max, you have what is it? Turner Classic Movies, DC Universe, Adult Swim, and I forgot what a couple others that are in there that are all bunched up together with that in that site. And then we come with this one. This is the one that gets me. Apple TV. It's $5 originally. It's 13 now. You know, who honestly, how many people you hear talking about Apple TV these days?
Some.
Not like the other
They have a
sites.
couple good shows.
They have a show here and there. And
Yeah,
the thing
but
about it is they're reverting away from producing and going more toward buying the product now in the next couple of years now. Because they just basically are not making, they're not making the money. They're losing money to that point that they basically, it's not worth it to be your own studio. It's cheaper to buy the product, to bring it in on that like everybody else does. And then, which seems right now the lowest at the moment, but that's going to change in 2026. First thing in 2026, Paramount Plus, which is $5 now, and it's $8 now a month, but it's going to be well over $10 by the time we get into 2026. And considering that Paramount just got bought up by Skydance, they're looking to buy Warner, and the shuffling that's going on in that company is it's amazing, to the point. Star Trek is about to go through a major change. Taylor Sheridan is going to leave Paramount Plus in 2029, so I don't know how many more seasons he has on some of his shows, because I know he's going to take some of those shows with him. And what's going to happen next, when it comes to it. And then Peacock, which it's like another one that's a waste. Comcast, it's $4.99. It's $10.99 now. That is expected to go up. They used to have the WWE there, but no longer. It's basically been taken away. I think it's gone over to Netflix and another site. All the shows that they're going through and the changes, and they were looking into buying the WB also. How's that for the situations that are going on?
Yeah, the biggest problem is that we have satellite actually here, right? Like old-fashioned cable. But that's because my wife is the one who really watches TV, and she's watching all these, various cooking shows and those kind of, reality type shows, right? So I don't really watch much TV. There's nothing on that. I can't think of a show that's on network television that I want to watch, right? So and for me, the shows. Each of these channels might have 1 to 3 shows that I'm interested in, right? Like I might want to watch HBO because House of the Dragon. I might be watching Apple TV because of like Silo, Prime Video because of what was that show when they living in the basement of the place and their minds were erased every time they went. I can't remember the name of that show offhand. But like stuff like that, right? So it's not really worth it. And I think I don't know if other people, if there's only 1 or 2 shows that are quality shows that I'm willing to watch, and I'd be willing to pay for actually to see them if they were, but I don't want to pay that much per month just to see one show that I think is good, right?
Yeah, no, you're talking about and what was it? New York Post that put out that basically the average American household is spending about $70 a month on just streaming services,
which is about the price of what cable used to cost.
Yeah,
in that sort of time frame. And that's probably what our satellite costs. I don't know offhand, but I just don't. You got to have like what would I get Disney for? There's a couple things I curious to see some of the Star Wars things, but then they come out and I hear they suck really bad, and I just go to YouTube and watch a guy and he just like says, "Well, this is what happened," and I'm like, "Wow, well, that is really bad. I don't want to waste my time."
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
what I'm saying. This is a lot of the stuff. A lot of the Disney stuff, it just doesn't work. They've lost their way. I mean, Disney. I mean, yeah, Disney had its day. Where it had its issues and all that. And it goes back in the 70s and 80s. But in the 70s and 80s, even though they had some bad stuff and but they also had some good stuff. I mean, you have all the stuff, the Kurt Russell series when he was younger, and that on the World's Strongest Man, the Computer of the War, tennis shoes. Kids like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
You had Kurt Russell always in every movie. He was doing some sort of an invention or something like that, like the World's Strongest Man. They invented a cereal that gave you super strength for a limited time.
Right.
And, that was just like, it was like, it's an insane movie itself. I still love it. I saw that in the movie. My mom took me to see that in the movie theater on there. But they continue.
Yeah, but you're not going to pay $12 a month to see that movie over and over.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And the new stuff is not keeping you, right? Like, and
no.
I think there's some people who are like me where they've they don't you don't have a lot of time. If I'm going to watch a show, I want it to be a quality show, and I'm just all right. I'll wait till it comes out on DVD, or some of them don't put it on DVD, and I'm just like, all right, well, I'll just have to suffer. I won't get to see that show. Oh well, big deal.
And then
some other way to amuse myself.
Right, and
I'll watch Babylon 5 or something, right? Like.
Hint.
No, I'm just like you can find other things to
absolutely
other entertainment.
Absolutely. But Disney on the other hand, on some of the classic stuff, they've censored a lot of the stuff. A guy, I think we said this before, and we've talked about this before. Guy Williams from Lost in Space, he played Zorro, and it was a fantastic series. Now you go to it right now on Disney Plus. It has like a long list. Oh, we want to apologize because the Mexican situation at the time. I was like, I don't want to know about that. I want to see I want to see Zorro. I don't want to hear an apology.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Davy Crockett. Same situation with Davy Crockett. It's like I grew up watching Davy Crockett on Wonderful World of Disney. On channel, what was it? Channel 4? Yeah, NBC Channel 4 when I was a kid. Between that and what was it? Marlo Perkins in Omaha, in Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom, which is now back. The original episodes are back right now on MeTV on Sunday mornings. And they have a YouTube channel as well. You can watch like classic episodes of Wild Kingdom, Marlo Perkins on there. I don't know if you ever heard of that before. It was a great nature show. I'm sorry?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Great nature show. It was a great nature show long before all the bigger nature shows into the Discovery Channel and National Geographic.
I grew up doing that, right? Sunday night after dinner, Wild Kingdom, and then the Disney 1 hour movie, whatever it was, Escape from Witch Mountain or whatever it happened to be, and then, get ready for bed type of thing, right? Like it's 8:00.
Right.
Yeah, so I know all about that as a kid growing up. So it's just, I just think like, look, even my wife watching TV, we're talking about commercials. I mean, even she simply just records everything, right, to the PVR, and then she'll be like, "Oh, I'm going to watch some TV." So she go through and just like, let's watch this. She watches that and then erases it. Like it's just and skips through the commercials. So. This whole commercial thing is just, maybe
it's gotten
good.
If
they could give us a good commercial that was, intelligent, didn't treat me like a moron.
Right.
They're just, it's just
the medical commercials are the most hysterical ones. Because you have these drug commercials that sit there and they're like, yes, if you have some sort of problem with your eye and you have this situation, please take our drug. But understand,
actually. I like those commercials because at least you could spend the time trying to figure out what's wrong with people. Right?
Yeah, no, it's like
you go take Zibop Walker, and you're like, what? What does that mean?
Yeah,
it's not a word. I wonder what that does.
And they say,
And I think maybe the next time I go to the doctor, I should ask him. Maybe he knows what it is. How
yeah,
else
but
do I
it's
know?
it's like the warnings.
Can we Google it?
The what?
Find out what it is.
Yeah. And then
course, that's
no,
what
the warnings are the best. He says, if you take this for your eye, please note that you might suffer kidney situations. You might suffer diarrhea, nymphomaniac. You might be sexually active to this point where you cannot basically will always be sort of rock hard all the time on there, or you might decide to become suicidal.
Man. The audience doesn't need to hear about your medical.
No,
Just
no, it's true.
that-
If
just keep it-
if
we
you
just-
listen to some of
we
these
don't want to hear
commercials,
about that.
no, if you listen to some of these drug commercials, they do say it. It's like
These aren't your medical problems.
no, this is not my medical. It's like I heard one time. I forgot what drug it was. They said it might link to sexual activity problems like nymphomaniac. It's like what? Did he just talk about nymphomaniac? I was like, no.
So then everyone was buying it and slipping it into their wife's
it's
coffee
like,
in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's like some of the drugs on there. I mean, my wife, she has her medical issues, and she has a kidney problem. She has her diabetes, and she hears these new drugs, and it's like, why should I take them? Why should I take them if it's gonna ruin my kidneys, cause eye blindness, possibly cause deafness? The latest one I heard, yeah, you can go deaf from taking this drug. What? You saying if I take this pill, there might be a slight chance that I can go deaf?
Yep. Roll them dice, baby.
Roll them dice. It's a scary part on some of these commercials, but but a lot of the other commercials, they've been a lot crazy lately too. Fun of that, but yeah, like I said, Tubi TV has the best, the best when it comes to the commercials. It doesn't take long. Pluto's the worst. Netflix is sort of in between. Disney's really bad. HBO Max is it's about average on there. Paramount's the same thing too. I think Paramount has the best on there as far as the commercial one, and I'll tell you why.
I don't see the point of spending money on a streaming service and then getting commercials now. I mean, that's the whole point. Well, getting a streaming service was to get rid of the commercials.
Well, here's the thing on it. Paramount does great product placement to the commercials that are on here. Perfect example. We've talked about Landman. And we said before, hey, listen, they got a commercial talking about the oil industry, in there. Lately.
Yes, I'm sure that everyone who's watching Landman is just waiting to buy their next oil well.
No. Here's the no. Well, no, that's just saying, the commercial says, we do well. This is on there. This is what we're doing. But lately, and this is last night, they had a Wrangler jean commercial and a boot commercial for a pair of boots, like rugged boots, stuff that you would wear Texas wide, some good rugged boots, and those are the commercials on. And I said to my wife, I said, that's funny. That's somebody thinking over at Paramount saying, yes, we got a show about Texas, guys wearing jeans, guys wearing boots, working the oil fields. Why don't we get a jean company, a boot company to basically advertise on this channel? And they got them. And that, people are going to buy jeans. People are going to buy boots. They see a pair of boots. They're like, hey, listen, those are a good pair of boots. What company is that? To that point, sometimes the commercial works in the show right. But when you have a kids show and you're selling Kotex pads and stuff for women in a kids things, or maybe you're selling something that is just like a guy oriented commercial, whatever product it is on a kids thing, that's no good. That's totally no good. And I blame the government on that, because they changed the laws back in the 90s. As they said, no, you got to have a little bit more rotation of the commercials. We can't have the toy commercial playing on the cartoons anymore, because that's wrong. To that point, we have to have more educational situations for our kids. and that's that's a problem. That's a problem, these days. Kids are not
I
getting
mean, I appreciate. I mean, I just think those guys who are putting the commercials on for Landman are just smart, right? They're doing something different. They're probably people are gonna be like, hey, that's kind of funny, and they actually watch the commercials. Um, so, um, that's the real
Landman's
they're
only
doing.
3 commercials. When
Yeah.
they do the commercial break, it's just those 3 commercials.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it, right? I
Right.
mean, because they're hoping that people will laugh a little bit and they'll go, "Hey, that's kind of funny."
Yeah, you jumped in a little late on there. I had talked earlier. There's that Landman last night between Billy Bob and Sam Elliott. They insulted the View last night.
Mhm.
They were like
Yeah.
saying, he's like, he goes, "Hey, Dad, why don't you watch some of the View?" And he says, "The View? What's that?" "Oh, it's some shows about some billionaires complaining about other billionaires and bitching on Donald Trump all day long. You'll love it." It's like, and today, the women of the View were like, "We didn't like that. No, not at all. You
Oh,
insulted."
they were talking about it last night. They trashed
This morning, this morning they were talking
Oh,
about
really?
it. Supposedly, they just didn't. Whoopi didn't like it.
Who gives a shit what she thinks?
It was a shit onto there. But yeah, no. Getting back to the pricing on the all this here, it's insane. It's just totally insane to the point that cable turns out to be cheaper. And the thing is, I have cable, okay, but I have a mixture here.
Yeah.
My cable box is actually it's a streaming box, like a Chromecast built in.
Yeah.
That's what Verizon is giving out these days. It's no longer the regular cable box with the pay-per-view and all of that. Everything is all localized into a special box. Now, the main box itself is connected to the Wi-Fi. If you have 2 or more that are connected through the house, they don't need to be connected to a wire. They only need to be connected to the TV and power. They run through the Wi-Fi system itself. So everything is set up through there. So you don't have no additional wires running through the house trying to connect cable boxes all over the place, which generally these days there's a lot of problems people have had. Like if they have 2 or more cable boxes, there's some transmission problems. They're missing a channel or 2. And from what I talked to a technician, he says, yeah, that's happening. Even with fiber, it just basically, the technology is not strong enough to send a signal through. It's better off to be through the Wi-Fi system than through the cable line. Ooh, sorry, I had to adjust my chair. But like I said, yeah, everything that's in my box is like I can watch all these streaming sites on there. It's all built in, and YouTube is built in there. YouTube Music, other streaming sites, the free stuff, Tubi, Plex, Roku, the anime channels, everything in there. The Criterion channel, and also you have the capability for their standard pay-per-view, and also linear television. You have the live TV. Now with me, I only watch 3 channels on there: MeTV, MeTV Plus, and MeTV Tunes. That's it. That's all.
Yeah.
Those are the
I got a cable box too, or a cable, but plus a DVD, Blu-ray player with some, access to Netflix. Well, it would Netflix, YouTube, and that kind of thing, and but it's not a very good one because I can't get these things like MeTV and stuff like that. That would be a good way to get it so you could watch it. But yeah, it's just it's the whole situation is just. These guys are drunk, thinking they're, who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right. Maybe they will get this much money. Maybe they'll make bank on. They'll be, eating it up. But I would rather. I mean, it'd be awesome if I could pay $1 and just watch a series that I wanted to off of each of these. They won't let me do that because it won't make any money. But
Well, you're up. I don't know if you have MeTV up in your territory. I don't think you have it up in your territory. I don't know if you're able to pick it up. But MeTV here, it's you can get it on the antenna for free. If you're depending on where you are. I know some people have problems out there because I know somebody will go in the go into the either the chat or down in the comments and says, "Well, it doesn't come on in my territory." I said, "Yeah," because basically there's some signal changes that have been going on, compressions and stuff like that, because the FCC has been selling off signals left and right. So a lot of the linear channels on the low band frequency of the 1.0, they have to sort of like jump on top of each other because they're losing channels left and right. So basically they're losing signal to that point. And but still, if you can get it on an antenna, listen, you got a bunch of free channels and you got a bunch of free shows. I mean, you're getting a lot, like for example, MeTV, starting, is it January? Or is it coming up now soon? They're getting a lot of the Aaron Spelling's TV series. Heart to Heart, Charlie's Angels, Fantasy Island. That's all coming very soon. Most of it on Sunday night.
Yeah.
On Sunday afternoon. They got rid of Gilligan's Island. I'm sorry, they got rid of Gilligan's Island. It's like they got rid of Gilligan's Island. No. But I love watching MeTV every once in a while. Good for the MASH TV series, Emergency. They just put on Everyone Loves Raymond on there. People are like, no, we wanted Gomer Pyle back on again. Everyone loves Gomer Pyle on there. The Carol Burnett Show, Hogan's Heroes. Which a lot of the stuff you can watch on Pluto for free also. Because they have their own channels. The Hogan's Hero has a 24-hour channel. Carol Burnett has a 24-hour channel. Everyone Loves Raymond has a 24-hour channel also. To on streaming. But MeTV does pretty well. Weagle Broadcasting, they do very well for themselves. They continue to expand and add new channels. They just added West, which is like a whole channel dedicated to westerns, Western TV series, Western movies, because that's very popular on weekday afternoons on MeTV. MeTV, if you flip on MeTV about between 1 and 5, so like Bonanza, Wagon Train, Rawhide, some great classic Western TV series on there. Have Gun Will Travel, a couple of the others, Winchester, they're all really good series on there. And you hear people, they love it. They take it off the air, people start screaming about it to that point. But this is the thing that's happening with streaming. I hope everything's okay with Outpost. He's still a bit silent. I know. I see his mic is off.
Yeah.
On there, but let's see. Let's move on to what I do want, which I think a lot of people would want to hear about. Lara Croft. We're going.
Yes.
That what?
Yes.
Yes. There are a couple. We had the gaming awards recently, and they just going to be not one but two new Lara Croft games that are coming out. Two different games from two different parts of Lara Croft's life. They look good. The animation and stuff like that are very good, and it looks like they're going back to the way Lara used to be, with a bit of a curvature. As you can see here, she looks like a girl. In other words, she doesn't look like a man anymore. It's basically it's like what happened with the animated series. So they made her look more like a man. And you might say to yourself, well, do we care really about the breast and the curvatures and stuff like that? I mean, that was Lara Croft's signature situation. I mean, if you go back years ago, okay, on the left over here is original Lara Croft. On the right, this is what they've done to her.
That's a guy, man, on the right. No, you took that from an animation. That's a guy from a different.
No,
that's not her.
that's from the Lara Croft. That's from the Lara Croft
No,
series.
that's a man, baby.
Yeah,
That's not
I
a
know.
girl. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on, he's even got a
what they
package.
did.
He's got a chest like a
when
man's
I saw
chest.
this, I
That's a
said,
man's chest. That's a man. Look at the arms. Look at the shoulders.
I
It's a
know,
man.
but that's what happened. This is what happens. It's that they generally, and this is the same thing, and this is the same
This is
body
really not
type
fair, madman. You know,
they
you're trying to
used
get
in
clicks
the.
by picking a. You picked a
No, I am
picture of
not.
a
No,
man and you put it on
no.
there. Come on,
Come
this is
on.
not true.
No, this is the same
This
body
is dirty
type they
pool.
used in
Dirty
He-Man
pool.
and the Masters of the Universe.
That's dirty pool, man. Come on. Though he is carrying a rope, so maybe. Yeah. And he's got a backpack.
He's got a backpack.
That's a
yeah,
guy,
no,
but
but
that's kind of a slightly feminine guy in the face. That's a man's body.
but no, if you have you seen Tila from the He-Man series that the Kevin Smith did?
I remember the original Tila.
Yeah, but the one that was on the Kevin Smith series is still to this similar body type.
It's not a woman, man. It's a man.
That's
a
exactly
slightly,
what has happened.
You know, a little bit feminine faced man right there. But look, that's a man. The body's a man for sure.
But that's what's happened. And now, with the newer one, they've put her body back together again.
Yeah, I mean,
now I know we talked about this before. We said you were saying like her having very large breasts. She doesn't have really large breasts. She has an athletic breast.
She
has more of an athletic.
I
body.
said that, you know, this character would have I mean, historically in the video games, she was very well endowed. You know, way, you know. But I mean, in reality, a woman who was doing these sort of things would it be athletic to more, you know, athletic to slim, likely to be able to do these sort of things, right? You know, the gymnastics, etc.
But you know, but you also you have to remember years ago, Lara Croft was basically respected as a woman who basically was strong, sexy.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember.
Adventurous. You know, to that.
No,
point.
I remember. It used to be before like 2015 or around there. You know, women could still look like women, and they could, you know, do action stuff, and people would go, "Hey, wow!" You know, they would think that, you know, people would think that was a good thing, right? They would say, "Oh, look." You know, they would still push the diversity thing, but say, "Oh, look, well, they're taking a woman and she's doing these things," right? But now, instead, what they do is they take a person who they say is a woman, and they make them look like a man, like that last picture, and then they say, "Hey," and I'm like, "Well, that's man, babe. That's man." I really don't. I mean, I don't really care about Lara Croft. They want to make her curvier or less curvier. But the people who play the game obviously want her to look like a woman. So why don't you give them what they want? Number one. And number two is you know, the real problem I have is the way they uglify up their faces. Like some of the characters that we've seen in video games lately, the quote women, look like they've been smashed in the face with like they ran at a brick wall or something. Like I'm like, geez,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Graphics are been getting better and better, but how come the women are looking uglier and uglier? They look ugly. Never mind that their bodies look like men too. What I mean, why do these game designers hate women? You know, why can't a woman look like a woman? Like,
oh yeah,
don't you? You know, why would you not want?
Or it's the same reason the way they hate anime waifu girls. You know,
if you want to promote women doing these things, why would you then make that woman look like a man? Like that's not.
Yeah.
And then say he's a woman and nobody believes you. Like no, I don't believe it.
They say they'll be like, "Oh, you just don't like strong women." I'm like, Lara Croft, Princess Leia, Kate Blanchett in Underworld. It's one of my first shorts. Is there was an interview between Jennifer Lawrence and what's her name who plays Amanda Waller. What's her name? In the DCU, she played Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's hold on.
There's an interview between between them. And Jennifer Lawrence said one of the most stupid things you ever.
Viola
Yeah,
Davis.
Viola Davis. It was Viola Davis and Jennifer Lawrence. She said in regards to Hunger Games, "Oh, we were told that it would never work. A female lead in an action movie would never work." And I go back to the 70s with Foxy Brown in this video. I have Foxy Brown, Sarah Connor, uh, Celine from Underworld.
Yeah.
All these characters. I'm like, are you kidding me?
What's her name from Umbrella Corporation there? Resident Evil, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, Alice. Yeah, Alice was her character's name. And the bad thing is in the first. The funny thing is actually in the first Resident Evil movie, there's a guy there's a character that shares my name, first and last name, that shares it, and he dies. Thinking, I finally get a movie character only for him to get killed off. What the hell? That sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, these people they're just stupid. They don't have no idea what happened past 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
There's been lots of female, well written characters.
Yeah.
That have been
Cara Dune was one of who got
been
fucked
good
over.
but they just they don't. It's politics.
Believe it or not, Jane Fonda, Barbarella, back in the day.
Yeah, I mean,
I know, Jane. Based on that, but she did make Barbarella. You can't forget Barbarella.
yeah. So there's lots of examples. Is it harder? Probably. It's probably a little bit harder, but people have done it, and they've made popular characters, and it's usually because they've done a good job of the writing of the character. It connected with the audience. So
Daisy Ridley, she's not a bad actress. I don't dislike her as an actress. I disliked Ray.
Well,
Ray
I don't think she's a great actress either, though. But
she
perhaps
was
because
with Ray.
Perhaps that's because maybe the writing is bad, and I have that bad impression. But
that's what I'm saying.
I haven't seen her do anything else.
She was in one of the
that I've been impressed with. So
Agatha Christie movies. I can't remember which one. Was it Death on the Nile or Orient Express?
And
I can't remember which one.
And you felt that she did a great job?
I thought she did better than she did in Ray.
Well, that's easy to do. I mean,
but that's the thing that we get.
Do, yeah.
Until they start shooting their mouth off like Jennifer Lawrence, it doesn't. We need to remember that there's still people. It's the act. Sometimes it's the shit that they're handed as actors and actresses that it's not their fault. It's just these female characters. They can be powerful. They can be strong, but they also can be sexy. They can be feminine. And it's like you said, they're
Charlie's Angels, the original.
Oh hell yeah,
Charlie's Angels TV show,
the original and the movies. Holy shit, the movies. Huh.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Angie Dickinson, policewoman.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cindy Crawford was in in that William Shatner police show. T.J. Hooker. Yeah. There's a lot of examples, but a lot of these modern actresses and actors can't see past their own nose.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I don't even think that's true. I don't even think that's it. It's that they're trying to push a political agenda, and the truth gets in the way of that, so they'll just ignore that, right? When Jennifer Lawrence comes on and says, "There's never been a female action character before me," and people are that's manifestly untrue. I mean, a 2-second Google search would have, given you the answer.
She covered her ass when she said, "Oh, as we were told this."
We were. Oh, okay. They were told. Oh, okay. Wow.
I'll share the video.
Well, that's obviously a lie. I mean,
Yeah.
Anyone over the age of 30 could tell you that it was a load of crap. I mean,
like Sarah Connor is one of my favorite movie characters. Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time.
The thing that they did, changing her character between those two movies, that she did. It was a great. When I saw that movie, I was like, wow. I mean, it rang so true. And she was this psycho. She was so soft and kind of, first movie, help me. and now she's become
Yeah.
a big heart. I'm like, wow, that's really like that's a great character. I didn't expect that, and to see that in the movie, I'm like, wow, these guys, know what they're doing and did a good job with it. So
This.
And then you had Sigourney Weaver in the original.
Oh yeah, that's
Alien.
another one I mentioned in the video. Sigourney Weaver is Ridley. Amazing characters. Oh God, I love those movies. The bottom right picture reminded me. Do y'all remember when Overwatch came out? You remember Tracer's pose from the back? She always had,
Oh yeah,
and
that
people
that
got
whole
pissed.
controversy.
It's like,
People lost their mind. The keyboard Karens lost their
and then
mind.
after that, they
It-
not only changed her pose, but they changed her sexual orientation. They made Tracer a lesbian after that.
Yeah, you know what happened after that? And I'll tell you straight out. You know what happened after that? The adult industry, the animators
Yeah. Oh God.
went after
Rule
that,
43.
and holy
34.
shit, how many porn videos with Tracer was in, and it's still to this day they still making more of it.
Oh hell yeah. It's a whole thing. Like
I think what was it like about 75 came out it just in the first week.
No, that's lowballing it. That is lowballing it.
I know I'm lowballing it, but there was like 75 at least that were basically out that you heard, like you were talking to people in the chat and they said, "Did you see that new Tracer porn?" I was like,
No.
"There's another new one
What
out."
chat
I
rooms
said,
are you in?
yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, trust me, I'm in some rooms that I sit there and just laugh and watch some of the people that they're talking about some of the most insane things. You have to see a lot of times when you're in these chat rooms, whether it's Discord, whether it's on Twitter and something like that, don't say anything. Just sit back and watch the interaction with everybody and see what they say. You'll learn a lot more
Well, I know.
to the people's situation. It was the same thing back when in MySpace also.
Oh yeah, those days were crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But Tracer, it's like they did her wrong, but the adult industry did her right. Kept her going.
My thing is, like I said, a female character can be strong, but also sexy.
Mm-hmm.
And when we saw that complete utter debacle of She-Hulk, that show literally pissed me off. I add that to the list, guys, of shows I absolutely loathe.
Yeah, I mean they did She-Hulk, and I was just saying before you came back, I was saying this now. Tila in the Kevin Smith Master of the Universe.
The thing that pissed me most off about that, he was called out on it before the show premiered, and he's like, "Oh, my Tila isn't like that." He was it called Goldfish TV? Is that the channel?
Similar
That's
to
a
this,
man, baby.
similar to this body type.
It was yeah. Ugh.
It's like they use the same body type for Lara that they did with Tila.
The thing is that people forget that it's Hollywood. People want to look at people who are attractive, whether it's male or female. So I mean, with the exception of specialty, people who are supposed to be ugly in a movie, generally everybody is above average looking in most Hollywood movies. And it's exactly the same for, any type of media, video games, TV, whatever. So men and women both want to look at other men and women who are attractive, not, ugly.
They were supposed to be things we could aspire to be.
Well, it's just aesthetically pleasing, right? Like when you go to the
no. I'm saying it's more than just being aesthetically pleasing. Hollywood was at one time things like you wanted to be Cary Grant or all these amazing actors on the big screen, these good-looking, suave, charming, beautiful people. It was something to aspire to. Now this is it's just.
But even if you don't aspire to do that, I mean, it's just. Human beings would rather look at a picture of something that is, beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, than something that is not.
It was like,
I mean, even during the Hays Code, I mean, you had some great stuff. I mean, here's one of the base products to what created Jessica Rabbit, the movie Gilda with Rita Hayworth.
Mm-hmm.
Rita was hot in 1946. if you've never seen Gilda, it's a great movie. But the scene where she's singing and she's dancing, which reminds a lot of what they used for Jessica Rabbit in the Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, seeing it in live action, originally in black and white. I mean, my God, Rita Hayworth was such a beautiful woman.
I was gonna bring something up and I can't remember. Damn it.
So I
Distracted
just
me.
this is they're defeating themselves when they uglify up everybody, and it just seems they
Yeah.
mostly seem to do it to the female characters, which is
The female
a little
redheads mostly.
disturbing. Why do they?
Yeah, Hollywood has a
sound to
problem
me
with
they
redheads.
sound to me like they hate women, right? They gotta make them all ugly. Why is that?
We've seen
And that's why they hate the anime industry, because the anime industry got it right. With the waifus and all that. They make some.
with it, and there have been people in the anime industry, mostly dubbers, who have tried to destroy that. They have one of the lady, I think her name's Colleen. I think it was Colleen Klinkenbeard was her name. She was one of the
Oh
one of
God.
the actors slash dubbers at Funimation before that fucking shithole went under. She would literally translate the scripts and put political messages into the anime.
Yeah, that was Dragon Maid. She did it
Yeah,
on.
and of course you have like fucking sickos like Schimmel and Sabat, Chris Sabat, who two one-trick ponies. I can't fucking stand.
But you see some of the other stuff that that comes out of Japan on there that does work, that ends up, and Amazon's in trouble right now because they try to AI some of the freaking dubbing on there, and they did a horrible
Yeah.
job also on top of that. So that they're in trouble with Konisha, Toei, and Toho, just for pulling some of the shit that they did. But you look at the characters. I mean, some people say, well, the characters don't look shaped right and all that. Like, God, what was the name of the series? I'm trying to remember. The series was about a 19-year-old girl who's like falling in love and all that, and she happened to be very large-breasted. And when it came out, the first thing everyone said, "There's no way whatsoever a 19-year-old can look like that." And then this girl on Twitter jumped out and said, "Excuse me, I'm 19 years old. I happen to, if you look, I'm pretty much well endowed, similar to this character. So you guys are wrong."
Yeah,
To
that's
the
bullshit.
point.
Because I knew some girls when I was in high school that were like, "Damn." So that's a little horseshit. If they're like, "Oh, a 19-year-old can't be stout," I guess. Trying to be a little diplomatic in how I say it.
Yeah, I remember a joke from one of these other series. It was a series about a jail that's basically it's run by a private corporation, and they're bringing in the prisoners for the first time in. And they're like, and the head guard is a woman. She's very well endowed. The she goes like she explains her situation, and at the end it says, "Do you have any other questions?" One of the prisoners goes, "Yeah, what's your cup size?" He goes triple. She goes triple D. He goes, and he's like, "Damn."
I'm gonna look something up real quick.
But yeah, and the thing about it is, between anime, video games, nobody had a problem with this before. Nobody had a problem with Lara Croft. Nobody had a problem with Resident Evil. Some of the stuff on Resident Evil. Nobody had a problem with any of these games until just in the last decade or so. And especially when gaming was invaded by, as they say, the keyboard Karen, bluehead keyboard Karens.
Hey, what was that like anti-bullying shit? What was her name? Anita Sarkeesian. I think that was her name. It was.
That's another one.
No, it was her. She started all this shit.
I know. Between her and what was that other girl that she's trying to make her way back up again? She was in the whole Vic Mignogna situation.
It was hold on. I followed that shit religiously. She played Bulma.
No. She wasn't a voice actress. She was basically she was one of the. She was on Twitter all the time, and I think did she have did she have a YouTube channel? But it was like she was always like she was begging for money all the time. I need a new couch.
I know who you're
Can you
talking
pay
about
for my
because she
couch?"
had arms like fucking wings.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Oh no, she was part of the YouTube channel. I can't think of the YouTube channel now. That they did they did like movie reviews and stuff like that. And she was part of it
It was
originally.
Monica Rial, Jamie Markey,
Oh god, yeah, Jamie Markey, that's another one.
Ron Toye. I'm her fucking fiance. Shut up.
Remember that whole thing with Ron Toye?
Shut the fuck up.
Would basically go to court, and Ron was trying to freaking trying to be like puff up his chest to the whole situation.
Yeah, oh yeah, he would look dead at Rakeda and try to puff up like, shut the fuck up, you little beta bitch. Go beat your ex-wife again with a fucking remote like you did before.
I mean, these guys were like the worst of the worst, and actually, you don't even really hear about them anymore.
They still do. Well, Funimation's gone. They still do cons. Vic's still doing his thing.
Yeah, well, Vic is working with
Yeah.
He's doing voice acting with one of the cons.
Matsuri, yeah.
Yeah, Matsuri, yeah.
He's not doing just voice acting; he's directing as well. That was the whole thing. He was up for a directing job at Funimation, and then all this happened because I honestly believe 100% believe I stand with Vic till the day I die. I am an OG. I stand with Vic. I watched the whole thing on Rekeda's show. I followed it. I emailed Vic, and you know what? I actually within a day got an email back from him, which is insane with the amount of support. The only reason that his defamation suit did not go through is because the judge was up for re-election the next year. And if he had gone through with that, if he had allowed that case to go through, it would have seriously hurt his chances for re-election.
Yeah, do you know?
No doubt in my mind about it.
And do you know how many YouTubers got their channel skyrocketed for covering that?
Yeah. Rekeda's there was a bunch of
all the lawyer channels.
And then they fucking it was because of Nick. All those lawyer channels got to what they are because of Nick Rakeda. They were never as big as Nick was at his height.
Oh, it was Channel Awesome. That's what that other girl was on.
What was her name?
I'm trying to remember her name, but it was Channel Awesome. Did you ever know about this snob?
What about it?
The Vic Mignogna situation.
Oh yeah, of course, I remember that from way back.
Okay. Because I talk to some people sometimes, and they said, "Who?" I was like, "You guys didn't hear about this? This was like all over the X sphere."
Doug Walker. That's not who I'm thinking of. Can't find the name. But yeah, Nick was getting too big for people because he was a Christian, and he still is. There's an amazing video where during one of the conventions, those Westboro Baptist maniacs come and protest it, and Vic goes out and confronts them, and he's talking to them, and they're saying some horrible stuff, and Vic just like, you're disgusting. You're gonna kill people. He says, you need to be loving. This is not love. You need to love these people if you want them to come around to your way of thinking. He just blows up at them. He came back and he's like, the next day he's like, I should not have done that. And I'm like, why? Your message was spot on. I mean, was it Mars Girl?
Yeah, Mars Girl. That's who it was.
What's that?
That's who it was. Mars Girl. I heard she's back. She's back in the fold again.
Oh, I remember her bullshit. Like there was an anime Matsuri guy cosplaying as a censor bar. He had like shorts on, a t-shirt on, but a censor bar at his crotch going down to the floor. And she's like, "Oh, this is disgusting." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I even said, I was like, This is nothing compared to what some of the women wear. And you're gonna be what you've worn. They're like she did a Supergirl cosplay with her tits like pushed up, but her arms like her fat just swinging there.
I mean that
They called her Arms Girl after that. I
I
remember
remember
now.
that. Yeah, yeah.
She was a and
I mean, the things that happen because because
a woman
Sarkeesian
lies.
started that. She started all this shit, and the comic book industry, the gaming industry, suffered for this. And and looking at all the games that have been coming out, like I mean, I haven't found myself a good game as of late.
Feminist Frequency. That was her channel.
Yeah, that's right. Feminist frequency. Yep. Yep.
But it's fucking ridiculous. Let a woman be sexy. Let a woman be tough. They are not mutually exclusive.
I always hear, and this is not only this being sexy and stuff like that. For the last decade or so, I hear, "Oh, there are not enough women directors. There are not enough women writers and so." And I said, "Wait a minute," and then I go back and look at history, and there are a lot of women who have been forgotten in history, going all the way back to the 30s. I mean, there were women directors in the 1930s and 40s, and they're forgotten today. And the women writers, women animators. They said, you're like with anime, they said, oh, all these men are making these grotesque animes and stuff like that. Most of these animes are made by women. They're drawn by women. Some of these creators are women. I mean, what was it? Full Metal Alchemist. The creator is a woman. And that's like one of the top. No, they criticize it because they said, "Oh, it resembles like the Nazis because it basically, because of the government the way it is, and it happens to be a good series."
See, the problem you're making though is that you think truth is important. Truth's not important; it's the narrative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter if they're made by women; they're sexist or whatever.
Yeah, but the thing about it is,
The
they make
narrative.
the lie. They tell the lie of the way things are, and it's like, no, that's not the way things are. They think everything is the color blue for them, but actually, it's all various. The glass ceiling has been broken to that point. And they just need to understand that. Take a real good history course, whether it's in television, movies, and stuff like that. You'll learn a lot. You'll
Yeah.
you know you'll learn who has been in this business, who's been creative in this business, who took a lot of chances in this business, and a lot of them are their stuff is missing from history books.
Yeah. It's not it's like I said, they don't care past their own nose. I shared my video in the chat, in private chat if you want to bring it up.
Hold on one second. All right. Let's see.
It was early in my editing experience.
Hold on. Let's see. Share.
Transmission.
Remember when I was doing Hunger Games, nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie because it wouldn't work. We were told.
Yeah, that's just a few of them. I could have made that video 10 minutes long if I wanted to.
Yeah, and she says we were told, but she doesn't say which way. She was told that it would
That's
that.
that's what I said earlier. She knows what she's saying is wrong, so she says we were told to cover her ass.
But what was she told? She was told that no one has ever made a movie with a
Action movie.
female, or she was told that it wouldn't work, right? Like
Yeah.
they could have been making the movie, and some exec said, "We're gonna put this chick in there, and she's gonna be this thing," and he might have said, or she might have said, "Yeah, I don't think it's gonna work. It's not gonna work." Yeah, but that doesn't mean, right? That's different. That's the movie he thinks might not work, right? Like not necessarily that
No,
fact that it's a woman.
no, snob, no, you are missing the entire point of what she said. She said verbatim.
No, I got
Snob, no, I'm not gonna let you do this tonight because she said we were told, or she said no one had ever put a woman as the lead in an action movie because it would never work, or so we were told.
right.
She literally said it never happened before her.
No, but you don't. But what does "we were told" refer to? Does it refer to a woman never being in a movie, or does it refer to it not
It refers
working?
to a woman never being in the lead of an action movie. Just what
Are
she
you
said.
sure?
I don't. Snob, I am taking
It's
her
not clear.
words. Yes, it is. Yes, it could be more clear. She is literally, I'm repeating her words verbatim.
Yeah, he is right on that. This is the hint that they've thrown out there. Again, like I said, that no, they haven't broken the glass ceiling with this.
Well,
The
I
point.
don't think it's clear from the sentence.
And it, no,
She could be.
I don't understand. I can't explain it to you because it's clear as crystal.
She could be referring that they had told us that there was no, a woman had never been in an action movie, or that it wouldn't.
No, you're twisting what she said. You're twisting her
I'm-
words. Yes, you are.
I'm not twisting. I'm saying it's not clear.
It is. What more do you want? Do you want it in writing? Do you want it? You want a recording of the conversation?
I just heard the conversation. It's not clear what that last part of the sentence refers to. It refers to the second part or the first part.
It refers.
Remember,
to the
she's
fact.
speaking it. She's not writing it. Well, that's what you think it refers to. I'm
I'm
saying it's not clear.
Dude. This devil advocate. I understand talking about from different points of view, but there comes a time where that doesn't work anymore. She said verbatim that that no one had ever put, and I keep repeating myself, no one had ever put a female lead in an action movie because it would never work, or so we were told.
Right.
She is
so
saying.
Does that refer to the entire sentence? Does it refer to the fact that we were told that it wouldn't work, or that she was told that they'd never put a female in the lead of an action movie?
You're forgetting the word because. You're it's just like in the Second Amendment when they take out the parentheses. You're forgetting the word. We were told it had never been a female lead in an action movie because it would never work, or so we were told.
Right, and that's what I'm talking. Right.
It's
because it would never work, or so we were told. But which was she told? That the whole thing, the whole sentence?
Okay, that is not the point. That is not
people. Like she's talking in an interview, right? People don't speak when they're speaking in interviews. They don't speak like lawyers.
It's not an interview. It's a conversation between her and Viola Davis. So it's
sure.
It's not an interview.
Okay. So when people speak in conversations or interviews, I mean, they don't speak like lawyers. They don't, parse their sentences perfectly. Exactly. So they don't parse their sentence perfectly. So I'm saying that.
So you're reading into this.
I'm saying it's not clear if she's referring to the first part of the sentence, the second part, or both parts. In my mind, anyway.
I can't. We're not going to change each other's mind on this. I think she was being a total idiot in that with that
No,
statement.
that's a lot of Hollywood. That
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I'm not saying she's not an idiot. I'm saying that
talk to
I
the
mean, and then she leaves enough. She doesn't state it clearly enough, right? And it can be interpreted that way. So then she has an out. Now whether she did that on purpose or not, I don't know. But she could come back and say, if you were to meet her and say, hey, why did you say this? She could say, oh, what I meant was that they had told us that it wouldn't work. I'm not stupid. I knew that there was,
I
Ellen
see what he
Ripley
said. I
before
see what Snob
me
is saying. I
and this
understand what he's
person
saying.
before me. I'm not stupid. I knew that. I meant that they had told us that it wouldn't work with us in the thing, not that there had never been, right? Like, so she could say that and get away with it, right? Because it's not clear in the sentence. That's all.
Okay.
It's okay.
I
It's
just
okay.
feel that
we can agree and disagree.
it is a complete the entire history of the entertainment industry that she just
Well, no, that's going to be
could not
the
see.
entertainment industry has been like that for years. I mean, I heard one time, what was it? A couple of years ago, when Medea, the guy that plays Medea, he opened up his own studio. He said, "Oh my God, a black man has gotten the first studio in Hollywood history." It's incorrect. In the 1930s, there was a studio called the Lincoln Motion Picture Company, which made movies for a short period of time.
Mhm.
This was right before the stock market crash, and basically they did a couple movies on there. Most of the movies, with the exception of 2 movies, are lost to history. But the studio existed. It worked. It was an independent studio on there. It was all actors were black, directors were black, and to that point. But now in the 2000 era, they're like, well, it never happened before. It was never there.
Yeah.
It's the attitude that some people have to this day. But then when you point it out to them, is that that's not what I really said. I said we don't have it right now. But
they're gaslighting.
it's
Gaslighting 101.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with Black Panther, right? Nobody remembers Blade. Blade was quite popular. I mean,
no one.
Great action hero, great action movie. I mean,
no one remembers Mantis.
Yeah,
that was another one right before Blade was.
Mantis had a lot. It was a lot of political overtone in that show.
See,
the series or the original first movie that they made.
Just going back to the Jennifer Lawrence thing. I mean, I actually think that. I mean, you would have to be an absolute moron. Even Jennifer Lawrence at her age, she must, and being in a movie industry, she must have known about other female action heroes. Like, she couldn't have been that stupid as to think that she's there's never been. She never saw. When did the Hunger Games came out in the late 90s? I mean, Sarah Connor is 91.
Hunger Games, no.
When did the Hunger Games come out? Oh,
give me a second.
I mean, it
wasn't
that long
era.
before. 2000?
2012.
Yeah.
2012 was the first Hunger Games?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I mean,
it's not old.
Still, she should be aware of, Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor and these and I mean,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, why would you say that?
The Resident Evil movies were still being made all during this time. Like, they've been how would she? I mean, you'd have to be absolutely an idiot to not know that there had been female action heroes before her. Like really, like that. I mean, and you would think if I was an actress going into an action movie, would I not watch other actresses in action movies? Would I not be aware of them? I just go in and go, whatever, I'll just do whatever. Like,
some actors don't do that. Some actors don't like to pollute their performance by looking at others. Fine, but if I as an actor was going out for a show like a Shakespeare show, I try to steer clear of other versions of Shakespeare of the play that I was going out for, because I would want to make it my own. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But you'd be aware, surely if you went, you would know that there'd be a person that played Macbeth some time before you.
And that's my thing, though. If she was, why would she say something so stupid. Then
Well, that's
my
why I think it's probably more logical that when she says "so they told us," she's referring to the fact that that's specifically referring to the fact that the sentence that it wouldn't work. So they told us that it wouldn't work, not the first part.
Yeah,
But who knows? I don't know.
and considering the long list of night, and we're not talking mainstream movies, we're talking low budget independent stuff from overseas, Hong Kong movies, that from the 70s and 80s had a lot of. I mean, I go back to if you ever heard of Cynthia Rothrock.
Well, but I mean that doesn't.
Who's a martial artist. She's been in a lot of Hong Kong movies.
Yeah, but you could say that those movies are so minor that no one would know about it. But Terminator 2, come on. Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that movie.
Underworld,
Aliens, everybody saw those movies. Those were huge blockbusters. And even Underworld, Resident Evil, those were less successful than those movies. But they were still huge and they were everywhere, and the merch and all that stuff. So you would still be aware of it.
Yeah, but stuff like Cynthia Rothrock, she had China O'Brien and a slew of Hong Kong films.
She's still hot.
Yeah, she's still hot. She has a YouTube channel that basically in the VHS era, her stuff was renting out like crazy. She had like some of the sexiest covers on there, and she was one of the, as far as a martial artist, she was she was really talented. And her fights were like, I mean, some of them have now been put on YouTube as of recent. People have been catching on to her stuff just as of recent. And I mean, this is
listen to this. Listen to this. She is an 8th degree black belt in Tang Shudo, black belt in Taekwondo, black belt in karate, black belt in Eagle Claw, black belt in Wushu, black belt in Northern Shaolin, black belt in Pai Lun To Kung Fu. Holy shit. She's probably one of the most dangerous women in probably the Western Hemisphere.
And,
wow.
and her movie showed it. I mean, there's I forgot the name of the movie where it was a Hong Kong flick where she took on like her and trying to remember the other girls. She was in more recent Asian flicks on there, but they took on like a dozen guys, and they were like in the they're jumping from platform to platform in this room, and it's just like going through glass and smashing up, and it's just like, holy shit, guys were getting their arms broken left and right on here. And the thing is that they didn't use that many stunt doubles then, so people were getting injured. Something like with Jackie Chan, you could tell that some of the hits that they got on, they're like, oh god, that hurt.
Oh, she was in the Dukes of Hazzard reunion movie. That's right. That's where I saw her first.
Yeah.
She played a girl who was a boxer who was up against her boyfriend and was like, I don't know if I can beat him. I don't want to like hurt his ego. I know I can kick his ass, but I don't want to hurt his ego. Okay, I'm just looking at her. She was in Hercules: The Legendary Journey.
Yeah, she was in that too. She was in a lot. I mean, she looks great today.
Yeah, I'm looking at her.
Yeah, she's looking great today. And what was that movie? I'm trying to remember that, because let's see, movies. Wasn't Sword of Justice. Definitely wasn't the China O'Brien stuff was like, I mean, she was also in No Retreat, No Surrender with freaking Van Damme.
I saw an interview with Jaleel White, the guy who played Spawn. Now, he was actually a real MMA fighter before he got into acting. He said that people asked him who was a better fighter.
Dangerous.
Yeah, he said they asked him who was a better fighter, Jackie Chan or Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he said probably Van Damme, because Jackie Chan he's never fought before. He's always done stunt work. But Van Damme, he said when they were doing a film together, he said the timing that Van Damme had, is like, holy shit, this guy is good. He could really fight. The first movie I remember him ever being in, it was the first movie he ever did, was Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. He was a background actor when Kino is being taken, and the rest of the guys who want to join the foot are taken. They're out on the street waiting. Jaleel White is right behind the Kino actor as an extra. It was his first movie he ever did, and he was still a giant. I love Spawn. That was one of my favorite movies. I wish they would bring him back as Spawn.
I would prefer to see that as a TV series.
It is.
The story needs to be longer, as the movie was a bit.
It is. It's a.
It is a TV series, HBO
cartoon.
animated series.
Yeah, cartoon.
Keith David did the voice, and oh my god, it was amazing.
It was a great animated series. I love
Keith
the intro.
David had-
I love the intros on it. It was like
Keith
very
David
big
has
intro.
an amazing voice. It's like, dude, he just got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame finally.
There's a movie, a Thai movie in 2009 that's really good. It's with Jijan Yanin. It's called Chocolate. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
Okay, this is a great film. It's if you don't want to see some really true action karate in a Thai film, and we're talking about at the end of this movie, and I tell you, stay through the credits at the end of the movie because they show you the scenes, as they were doing them and how people got injured left and right. This is a movie about.
2008 or-
I'm sorry.
It's 2008. Okay.
Yeah, it's about a girl. It's about a girl with autism, and
Okay.
basically she's, there's the whole situation that her mother used to be part of the mob and all that, and she's trying to get the money to help her mother with the whole thing. But the thing about it is that she has the ability to mimic martial art films. Like if you show her a Bruce Lee film, she will mimic the film to the action styles to the exact. In other words, she can teach herself martial arts with just watching a film, and she goes off and starts kicking ass and left and right. I think there was one scene is like toward the end where she has to fight this guy who has Tourette's, and that was his style. He had a Tourette's fighting style, and she was getting her ass kicked at one point, and then she saw how he was doing, and then she mimicked it back. And that fight scene is incredible itself. But there's like a lot of other scenes. There's like the ice fight scenes and stuff like that. But at the end of the movie, you get to see what they, like Yayan, she got injured a bunch of times on set going through this, and a lot of other guys that got injured in this movie. But it is a powerful movie. It's really good. It's like one of the best Thai flicks I've ever seen in a long time.
Yeah.
What was the name of the actress you were talking about?
Jijan Yanin.
No, Outpost before. That's the same one?
Cynthia Rothrock.
Was that her name?
Yes.
Cynthia
Well,
Rothrock we were
as-
talking about before.
The one
Yeah.
who's very good at martial arts?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's what we were
Yes.
talking about. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can find her movies on practically almost any. You probably internet.
Tubi. Just go to Tubi. Yeah.
Yeah, go to Tubi or any of the other. You'll find her movies. They're low budget stuff, but the fight scenes itself are so well choreographed. Especially the ones that are made overseas. 'Cause she did a bunch of them overseas. That
Oh, yeah. Here she is.
Yeah. yeah, she's really good at what she does, and she's still very good today.
See,
That's why
one thing
I love a lot of the Thai films, the Hong Kong films.
like City Cop,
She
Sword.
looks
Sword of
vaguely
Justice,
familiar.
Guardian Angel. I'm looking like Lady
You
Dragon.
may have seen her in a regular. She's been in regular stuff on there.
Holy shit,
I must have seen
all
her.
her movies. Martial Law. She just did a movie called Black Creek. All of it is on Tubi. I just googled her name. Gentlemen, before it gets too late, I gotta jump off.
Yeah, I'm just about to go off the air. I was about to say,
cool.
before we go, anything coming up Post?
Not at the moment. I just did check out my video I posted Sunday morning, reviewing the recent Supergirl trailer. I talked about it. Talked about Jason Momoa, the main man himself. Finally, after so many years, getting Jason Momoa as Lobo. Cannot wait That's the main reason I want to see that movie.
I already saw him as Lobo in the Aquaman movie.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Isn't he Blanca in the Street Fighter series? In the new Street
Yes,
Fighter
he's
movie?
Blanca. And do y'all know who they got to play Bison in the new Street Fighter movie?
Yeah, the
Polka Dot Man from the Suicide Squad.
Polka,
That's like,
yeah.
are you kidding me, dude? That casting, like,
Well, they got
Zangief
Cody Rhodes is in there.
as Guile, which holy shit, that's gonna.
Yeah, and then you got Roman Reigns.
I don't remember who he
Roman
plays.
Reigns is WWE also.
I know he's in WWE. I just don't know who he plays. Can't
He
remember.
plays God, I forgot who it was. It's listed. Like the whole cast. It's all listed.
Yeah,
what characters are they playing?
The guy they got to play Zangief is like, I think, this big bodybuilder who actually looks like Zangief.
Yeah, 50 Cent is playing the boxer.
Yeah, I can't. I was more of a combat guy back in the day, so I love Street Fighter. I enjoy it, but I can't remember. I don't know all the characters like I do from Mortal Kombat.
Akuma. Roman Reigns is playing Akuma. Let's see. Balrog. 50 Cent is playing Balrog. That's
right. That's Balrog.
Eric Andre is playing Don Savage.
God, I hate
it. But yeah, so is that all that's coming up for you?
That's all I have right now. I released my Supergirl review Sunday, so it's live on my channel. So check it out.
And Snob, what do we got coming up?
Wednesday, I'm on 5.
I will be there.
We're doing episode 3, A Day in the Strife, and yes, Outpost Nerd will be our special guest panelist.
I'll be there in the chat.
That's right.
Yep.
Onto there.
That's right. It'll be good.
I guess you don't
I
have
watched
Sunday.
it already.
Oh, you watched it already? Oh, good.
Cool.
I guess you don't have anything ready for Top Lofty Lounge yet.
Yeah, we're gonna do it's movie night.
Oh yeah, that's right. It is.
It's
And let me
night
guess.
this week.
Battle Beyond the Stars.
That was winning the last time I checked. Let me check just right now again. I'm sure it'll probably be the winner. It's still winning.
I got the 4K version of it.
There's only 4 votes, so total.
I was one of the votes.
So you can get in there.
I voted for the boob.
So you're the one. You're the only one.
What, they voted for the other one?
Yeah, there's only one vote.
I voted for the boobs.
Don't worry, it'll come back.
Boobs in Battle Beyond the Stars.
Anyway, don't worry about it. We'll come back. I mean, it's just a matter of which we're going to watch now. I mean, I'm not going to put it off the.
It don't matter.
Anything that loses doesn't get thrown away. It'll come back.
And of course, tomorrow morning we'll get another edition of Tool Time with Cam.
Yes, every day until the 24th is the last day. It's Advent calendar, so all the days of Advent up to the 24th. So,
Fallout Season 2 premieres the day early. It premieres tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was posted to premiere. Yep. So I'll be watching that and probably talking about that on a live stream. I love that show.
We'll probably talk about it next week on there. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe. Also, merch shop running a special right now. This is the last week. You could probably get it before Christmas. Promo code Frosty15. Get 15% off your purchase. Shop q2cast.com. So thank you for all coming in. Thank you, Outpost Nerd. Thank you, Snob, for joining us today. Next week will be the last Madman Cafe of the year. I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably do some Christmas, New Year's oriented stuff on there. So do tune in. Thank you for those who have tuned in tonight. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to check out our videos tomorrow and Wednesday. They'll be running up back to back. Bye-bye now.
Good night.